make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns, and I'm taking a little walk. I need to keep these legs moving. As you know, I drive a truck over the road, long distances, driving for long hours. And as a result, I'm in that chair for a very long period of time. Check this out. So I go to a facility to pick up. Everything goes well, I'm loaded, I'm on my way out. However, I don't know how much weight they put on me. The paperwork says one amount, but if you've been doing this for any considerable period of time, you know that the bill of lading, which is what they give you, which is what has the weight and the number of pieces that it has and things of that nature, it's not always accurate. And in this case, it wasn't accurate. But I wasn't able to find out until after I went on a scale. However, to get to the scale, the only scale that I was able to locate, that scale was located after the weigh station. And because it was after the weigh station, I would have to take the risk of going through the weigh station if it was open and getting in trouble if the weight was over the amount I was able to haul. There are ways of hauling more weight beyond what the maximum is, but you would have to get permits in order to do that. You have to call every state that you're crossing into to apply for the weight permit. Well, we're not. Well, I've got a refrigerated unit, and I have some product there that requires a refrigerated unit, and we typically don't engage in getting overweight permits. That's usually for flatbeds, and RGMs, and step decks, open decks, but not hauling open deck trailers, or I'm not. Well, I get to the weigh station, which was 50 miles away from where I picked up. Get through, still don't know what the weight is. Get to an actual scale after the weigh station. Turns out I'm overweight by 1,200 pounds. So basically the entire truck weighs 81,200 pounds. That's a violation. Make the necessary phone calls, and we agree to go back and have that excess 1,200 pounds removed. Now I'm returning to the facility, which is approximately, okay, it's 50 miles, but it's it's an hour and a half drive, because the area that I'm driving ranges from speed limit from 40 to 55 miles per hour. So there could be a long stretch where it's 40 or 45. Then I'll have 55 miles an hour for a certain distance also. Bottom line is, because it varies so much, the speed limits vary so much, it takes longer than just one straight. Let's say it's a straight shot 50 miles at 55 miles an hour, I'd be there in under an hour. It's an uncomfortable ride. There's a lot of twists and turns. I couldn't really see just how high I was loaded, which would make a difference, because if there's a lot of twists and turns, you would want to know how high or low the center of gravity is. Couldn't tell, wasn't allowed in the facility. And on my way back, there was a weigh station returning from the scale. And guess what? They were debating whether to give me a ticket or not after I got on the scale, and they noticed that I was overweight. Even after I showed them that I was on my way back to the facility to have weight removed, they actually, two cops actually sat there and debated whether they should just let me go or not, or give me a ticket. I don't know. For me, it's pretty simple. I had no intention of hauling that weight 1,600 miles, which is where I was headed, was 1,600 miles away from where I picked up. I would think they would be reasonable. They were. They let me go. But I didn't understand why a debate was necessary about that. Well, the types of things that go on in trucking. So sometimes, and I know one particular trucker who went through this. This trucker went to pick up a load, and the shipper took advantage and overloaded him by 4,000 pounds. The lesson there is that even you can't trust shippers, you can't trust brokers. Yes, you have to establish relationships with them, but initially, when you encounter a shipper for the first time, a broker for the first time, you got to confirm. You got to double check, because if not, you can get burned. There's a trucker from California, young guy, bought a couple of trucks, started his own brokerage. So you would think that of the three parties, the carrier, the broker, and the shipper, he had control of at least two, the brokerage and the carrier. He established a relationship with a shipper. And even after establishing that relationship with the shipper, he still got burned. So what happens? Hi, Adam. Yeah, it's not that cold. It's chilly enough, but I'm wearing this jacket more so because of its reflective properties. What's up, Pinky? So he got burned. And the way he got burned was, shippers have up to 30 days to pay for whatever load you haul. So this was contractual, and so he's hauling for an entire month. And after the month was up, maybe a week after the month was up or something like that, the shipper went out of business and never paid him. Now, think about the fact that for each truck, you might have to fill those tanks. And he was out in California, so he was probably spending anywhere from $700 to $900 every time he had to fill up. $700 to $900 to fill up. And how often did he have to fill up? Well, that depended on how far the load had to go. A lot of over-the-road truckers, they fill up what, once every 2 days. So you figure around 3,000 of what you make is dedicated to fueling. So each truck, let's just say each truck, you had to spend $3,000 on each truck. If he had 3 trucks, that's $9,000 a week. Multiply that by 4 without getting paid. And if he had drivers, he had to have money up front to pay them. Also, that he would never get that money back because the shipper knew that he was in financial trouble, and he still did that. And right now, there's a big old case to try to convince the FMCSA. Well, one definite thing is the fact that when you sign up with a broker, the brokers have you sign this contract where you give up your right to request how much the shipper actually paid for the load. So in the contract, it states that you cannot ask that. And if you do, they'll put a report out on you and put basically tarnishing the name of your company if you're a carrier, which can be devastating. It can make it very hard for you to get loads because it puts your credibility in question. That's rough. And on top of that, that's part of the lawsuit. The other part of the lawsuit is making it so that brokers are transparent and report to the carrier, upon request, I imagine, exactly how much the shipper paid for the load. Now that part I'm not that big of a fan of. Because the truth of the matter is, you have to know your own value. Hey, Miss Queen. Oh, I'm surprised you're up at this hour. Oh, no, that's right. You are up at this hour. How you doing, bro? I forgot. Now, yeah, I know how much it costs for me to run my operation. So there's a bare minimum that I need. And in that bare minimum, I have my cost of operation plus my own profit. So in that case, in that regard, it's my business to make sure that I get that bare minimum. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm up now. And this is one of the challenges of being an over-the-road trucker, especially with when you're pulling a refrigerated unit. Oh, it's your off day today? Nice. So, when you're hauling refrigerated loads, you get to a pickup and you don't know how long it's going to take for them to load you. That's one thing. And then Once they're done, your hours get soaked up. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Miss Queen. Oh, you go back to work tomorrow? Okay. Okay. And so you don't have a consistent sleep pattern. Sometimes you're up at night, sometimes you're sleeping at night, or sometimes you're trying to get to sleep. Like right now, I should be sleeping right now. I'm off duty and I should be sleeping right now, but I can't sleep. Yes, sir. My brother's in the house and I'm vertical. So I don't have a set sleep pattern, and so now I'm up right now. I'm taking a walk. Hopefully I can. Hey, Miss Vegan's in the house too. What the heck? Yeah, I'm excited right now. Yup. If I angle the camera, you'll see what I'm talking about. But check this out. And I'm vertical. So not having a set sleep pattern affects you physically. And then, let's say when it's time for me to start moving, and I have to start moving because this delivery has to get to its destination by a certain time. So as I start moving, I might fall asleep in another hour or 2 hours. I might get sleepy, fall out. But then I gotta wake up drowsy, sleepy, start driving. And while I'm driving, I gotta make sure I stay as alert as possible. Now, if I feel tired and look tired and I get pulled over, or even at a weigh station, because at the weigh station they got cameras and they might be observing you. If they see that I'm fatigued, man, listen. In many of these states, if they see that you're fatigued, they'll put the handcuffs on you. They'll take you away. They'll lock you up. Because it's the equivalent of driving under the influence. So that's one difficult aspect of driving over the road. You know, and even if you're a local driver, honestly, I was a local driver for like 18 years. And in those 18 years, well, when I first started, it was the worst when I first started. When I first started, I had to drive an hour and a half. I had to drive an hour and a half to my job, drive an hour and a half back home. And it was a 16-hour day. So a 16-hour day, think about that. There's only 24 hours in a day. So 3 hours of commuting, add that to the 16 and 19 hours. So I have 4 hours left to eat, sleep, do whatever I had to do, get back. And then we had split days off. So I didn't have 2 days back to back where I can get as much rest as possible. No. And you already know, if you got kids, on that day off, they're going to want to play. So that was rough when I first started. I did that for about a year and change until I got transferred to another facility. And it went down from an hour and a half commute each way to about 40-minute commute each way. Yeah, that sucks big time. That sucks big time. So I was always exhausted. And it was aggravating. You know, I was driving in New York City, in Boston, Providence, Rhode Island. We're talking about tight spots, a high volume of traffic. Yeah. northern New Jersey, places like Jersey City, um, Hoboken, Weehawken, Passaic, Patterson, tight spots. So you're tired all the time. You're driving into these tight spots. You get to a supermarket, because I was delivering to supermarkets, and the the receivers, sometimes they had some seriously big attitudes. There were a couple of times when we wound up scrapping. Those were the old days, though. You can't do that now, 'cause they'll haul you off to jail. Call the company, haul you off to jail. But nobody cared to call the company and complain or anything like that. We just threw hands, throwing boxes and cans at each other. Oh man, where's this guy going? So, but it got better. It got better with time, and then these are all the things that, if you didn't know, truck drivers, truck driving is one of the most dangerous jobs in the country. In fact, I was looking at a statistic. More truck drivers get killed in a year than a combination of the police and the fire department together combined. We're like 4 to 6 times more likely to get killed at work than both the police department and the fire department combined. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. There was a time I was in New York State. I was northbound on I-81, and I was tired. It was late night, so you know your body. Most human beings, their body, somewhere around between the hours, I think, of 2 and 4 a.m. It wants to shut down. So I'm driving. I'm on I-81 northbound, and there's this little piece of construction right on a bridge, and it's a downhill and a bend. So it's a downhill and a bend, and I fell asleep for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds. I fell asleep. Yeah, and when I woke up, I tell you, man, I gripped that wheel, and I made it across that bridge, and it was narrow because it had those cement barriers on one side. On the left side, it had the cement barrier. On the right side, it had the rails. If I would have still been asleep, I would have been over that bridge, and I would have gone down maybe, I don't know, 50 feet. That would have been the end. And I woke up just in time to destroy my underwear. Yeah, that was critical. And there are times when you could just zone out. You could just straight up just zone out. You would go through a stretch of highway, I don't know, a couple of miles maybe, and you're looking out and around, and you're wondering, how the hell did I get into this lane? You don't even remember when. You don't even remember changing lanes. So tell your family and your friends not to drive alongside truck drivers. Either speed up and get past them, or slow down and stay behind them, but don't drive alongside of them. Look, in Connecticut, I-95 between New Haven and Bridgeport, this driver that drives for my homeboy, he was in the middle lane, and there was a pickup truck on his right. Trucks are not allowed to drive in the left lane. Well, guess what? There was a truck driver in the left lane, speeding down. And of course, He doesn't want to get caught in the left lane. So the first opportunity he gets to get in that center lane, he's gonna take it. So he puts his blinker on, starts getting in the center lane where my homeboy's driver was at. Well, he cut in a little too quick and he clipped my homeboy's driver. And my homeboy's driver lost control, wound up going into the right lane, the shoulder, and into the trees. The pickup truck that was driving alongside him went right into the trees with him. Right in. Luckily, he didn't get hurt. But that's a massive lawsuit right there. Now, he went to court. My homeboy went to court. And when it comes to trucks don't ever win, for the most part. So my homeboy knows that this is going to be a problem. His only salvation is the camera he's got on the truck. Yeah, he's got a dash cam on the truck, and it shows, but it was too blurry to catch the license plate on the truck. But you would think that would be it, right? That's proof. Hey, this guy did it. No, that's not enough. That's not enough. Because the lawyer for the pickup truck, they wanted to know how fast he was going. If he's going over the speed limit, he's lost. And that's easy to find out because the insurance companies have their mechanics plug into the computer system, and the computer system lets them know just how fast he was going right at the time when the incident occurred. So that's not a good look. That's a 55 mile per hour maximum speed limit on that stretch of road. But anybody who's driven there knows ain't nobody doing 55. They're doing better than 55. They're doing 60, 65, even 70 miles an hour. Trucks, plenty of trucks are doing 65 miles an hour down that stretch. So if he was doing 65 miles an hour, he ain't winning that case. But that ain't nothing. If you think that's bad, I forget what state it was, but this driver just finished his 10-hour reset. You got to do a 10-hour reset. If you want to start driving, if you exhaust all your hours driving, and yeah, you shouldn't be don't drive next to the big trucks. If you have the opportunity, either get past them, pick up your speed, get past them, or slow down and stay behind them. One of the two, but don't drive alongside them. That's a bad idea. Anything could happen. I was on I-95 in Connecticut going into New York, just before the New York state line, just before you can take 287. I don't know what this woman was thinking. I really don't. She just merged into my lane. I was in the middle lane because I didn't want to take 287. I wanted to continue going south because I was going to get on the cross Bronx. This lady just merged into my lane, and I had to jerk the steering wheel to the left. Luckily, there were no cars in the left lane. But that almost became a tragic ending for somebody except me. Either she was going to become a tragic ending, or whoever was on my left lane or the left lane, and I had to go into that. I had to go into that lane, but it was so fast, I didn't even have time to check to see if I was clear to get into that left lane or not. But had I not done that, she would have been gone. She would have been crushed. And imagine if you're driving on that left lane and I make that lane change. It was either you or that lady, one of the two. Somebody was going to get crushed. So yeah, don't Don't drive alongside, especially not near the rear wheels of the trailer. Definitely stay away from that area. And there's another story with that. It's crazy. Listen, stay away from it. Seriously. That very same area, I'm headed southbound again. I'm going toward New York. And I see this commotion. 3 helicopters. And then suddenly, one goes off to the left, one goes off to the right, and one stays right where it was, where they all 3 were. And I'm wondering what the hell's going on. I thought it was a drug bust. Oh, it wasn't a drug bust. As I got closer, I noticed that the fire department was there, and there was a big old black sheet, and then there was a body that was covered. And then I come to find out later on that a truck that was traveling southbound, one of the wheels from the trailer came off. You don't feel that. If you're in the truck driving, you don't even feel that. But the wheel came off, and at the speed that it was going, because the truck must have been going about 65 miles an hour. At the speed that it was going, it came off the trailer, and it started bouncing, and it bounced from the southbound side to the northbound side, crashed into the windshield, and instantly killed the passenger of the car that it impacted. Instantly. I can't tell you how many times I've seen wheels from trucks just come right off. I've seen that about 4 or 5 times. Ultra dangerous. You got to be on point. So don't drive alongside trucks. There's so many people that do that. It's crazy. And then when you do pass the truck to get in front of them, make sure you have plenty of space. If you get in front of it, try to get at least a truck length ahead of the truck, then go into then go in front of the truck. Try not to do that on a downhill. If you can remember, please don't cut in front of a truck on a downhill, because that could be the end. Because the trucks, they can't stop as quickly as a car. Not good. Not good at all. So this truck driver, he went ahead and he did his 10 hours. He did his 10-hour reset. And so he started his day. He did his pre-trip inspection, which you're supposed to do, and he headed out. He gets to an intersection. The light is totally green. He's going through the intersection. Boom! He gets hit. He got hit by a car from the traffic that intersected with, in the intersection he was on. A young lady instantly killed. Instantly. It turns out she was driving intoxicated. She was drunk. She went through the red light, hit the car, and got killed. That truck driver was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Sounds crazy, right? Let me explain. They went through his logbooks and discover a violation. He went over his 11 hours of drive time like 2 weeks prior. So the reasoning was, had he not gone over, and it was for like, it wasn't even for a minute. Their claim was that had he not gone over his drive time, he would not have been at that intersection at that time. And she wouldn't have hit him. She was driving drunk. She was the one that was committing the crime. And yet, the truck driver paid the price. And there are a lot of stories. There are tons of stories. Now, every truck out here has got a camera. Every one. Yeah, they are serious about this. The CDLs? What? Listen, listen. We pay some tremendous fines. Tremendous fine. If you get caught driving past your service hours, you can get a ticket that's up to $10,000. I was at one of the trucking companies, and one of the drivers came back, and he went over a bridge that it was in Providence, Rhode Island. There were two bridges that trucks were not allowed to go over because they were going through some construction or something like that. So the weight, those bridges were getting destroyed. Not destroyed. Well, they were getting damaged badly when the trucks were going over. So they had to put a stop to that until they repaired it. So homeboy came back with a ticket because he went over the bridge. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it is very easy to go over that bridge and not even realize it. The signs were like 5 miles away. Do not cross such a bridge. The sign is 5 miles away. No warnings after that. As you were approaching the bridge, there were no warnings telling you this is your last chance, get off. Nothing like that. So you could very easily go over those bridges. In fact, I went over one. But I was in a lot better shape than this driver. This driver got himself a $3,000 ticket just for going over that bridge. When I went over the bridge, I saw the disco lights in my mirror. I said, okay. I pulled over, and the trooper was on my passenger side. I lowered the window, and I just looked at him. I said, was that the bridge? Because there were like 3 other bridges before that one. And then I said, was that the bridge? He just went, damn. I didn't think that was a bridge, man. I'm sorry. Then he asked me, do I need to pull out the scales? Because they have portable scales. How much weight you got? And I was honest. I said, I think I'm overweight for the bridge. He said, do I have to pull out the scales? I said, nah, I'm pretty sure. Sorry. My ticket was only for $100. Well, we got a $3,000 ticket. That was terrible. But, $100 or not, I was appreciative. No points on my license for that, which was a great thing. You don't want points on your license as a driver. As a truck driver, you have 100. For me, 100. For him, 3,000. Yeah. Some of these truck drivers, they think they're getting away from a boss if they buy their own truck, get their own authority. Oh yeah, way better than points. Way better than points. You don't want points. Let me tell you something. Points on your license on a CDL, that means that the insurance is going to get jacked up. When I had my own authority, I was paying $36,000 a year, and that was the lowest. I was entitled to the lowest possible paying policy for any company I go to, because I've been driving since '98 with no accidents. None. Zero since '98. I got somewhere around 3 million miles accumulated with no accidents. How long will I do this? Okay, so I had a plan. By 2007, I was going to completely retire. I was looking for a home in Costa Rica to buy and move out to Costa Rica and just travel between Costa Rica and Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, and that's it. But I had a devastating divorce, and that destroyed all my plans, everything. Everything went up in smoke right there. But I was making a good amount of money. Okay, so let me bring it down to this. Okay, this was right around the tail end of being a stockbroker. Right around the tail end of that, because I was done with it. That's a super high stress job. So I had my state job, I had my trucking job, and I was doing the brokering. But I brokered for I was brokering. I wasn't brokering for myself. I was brokering for a brokerage firm. So I was working out of one of their satellite offices, and I was good to go, and I didn't have to put in that many hours. But as a retail investor, I'm gonna settle down. I don't know how long it'll take, but I need a certain amount of money just to settle down and just to begin weaning myself off the road and just generate money trading, which only takes about maybe, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes a day. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, listen, drive, and I'm away from my family, weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time, a month and a half. There was one time I was away from my family for an entire year, away from home for an entire year, hustling out. But and I had some mishaps. I had the bank wipe me out of a huge amount of money. I had I was in a lease to own, and I got shafted by the person that had the title to the truck. Stiffed me for $80,000. I bought another truck. Engine blew on that. That was another $70,000. So all this happened within a short period of time, within like a 2.5 year span. 2.5 year span, probably about, I don't know, maybe somewhere close to $1 million loss within that time. So I'm just trying to get back on my feet, and once I do, I'm definitely gonna curtail the amount of time I spend on the road, and hopefully get rid of that altogether. So I started. This is my second YouTube channel because my other one got got wiped out by some nefarious activity that took place. The professor knows about it. Maybe one day in a live show. Well, we can't give details because it was that bad. What they did was that bad. But my interest was to encourage people from the hood to consider investing in the stock market. One thing I remember about growing up in the hood is that nobody ever taught me or anybody around me anything about the stock market. Well, when I got to junior high school, I had this one math teacher. He made it his business, and I'm grateful for that math teacher. And see, here's one of those situations where races. He was a white man, okay? He was a white man, and he was teaching in the hood, and he took from his personal time to teach us, okay, us minorities, about the stock market. He would bring in the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, and he would teach us about what to look for, 52-week high, 52-week low, last week, all these different things, all these different elements, and to look for. He had us pick a particular company that sold shares, and he wanted us to follow through. And yeah, definitely, Oh yeah, I definitely got you covered, man. You could tap into my brain, man, big time. I love teaching about that stuff. I love it. Um, and I'm gonna tell you straight up right now. A lot of people want to hear the more complex aspects or load up on the terminology or technical analysis for the sole purpose of bragging. That's it. That's the only reason why they do it. Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, that's the only reason why they do it. But all that talk, all that terminology, all that stuff, that's not going to make you more profitable. I'm going to tell you right now. There's only two things that'll make you profitable. That's discipline and consistency. That is it. That is it. Yes, definitely. I'm gonna set you up just for that. Consistency and discipline. That is it. Those are the two main ingredients. You got that? Because most people don't have that. Let me tell you. Once you go down this road, and once you go down that road, and let me tell you something. You know, I teach options, but I don't teach everybody options. I observe them very carefully. If I detect for 1 second that you have a what do you call this personality? An addictive personality, I'm not teaching you a damn thing. Because with options trading, oh my God, you can become addicted and you can start approaching the stock market like a gambler. And I don't encourage that, not one bit. I don't encourage day trading, none of that stuff. I don't encourage none of that stuff. When I started in the stock market back in 1996, you know, a day trader could trade about approximately 50 trades a day easily. And every time you put in an order, whether it's to buy or sell, you could be running up a bill of about close up to $100 per trade. And a lot of times these day traders, you know, a $10 gain, and they're excited because they picked the right direction. Yeah, but that one trade might have cost you $50 for that one trade, and all you made was $10. So you're in the hole. They were constantly in the hole. Day traders are always in the hole. You know that on YouTube, the highest paying channel are finance channels. Yeah. No, I heard about that. But I'm a gatekeeper. Yeah, I'm a gatekeeper. But a lot of those dudes, let me tell you something. A lot of those dudes want to encourage people to get on into their courses. You know what? I'm gonna start a course. I'm gonna start a course on how not to get involved with courses. That's gonna be my course. Because a lot of those investor channels, that encourage you to take their courses, the money that they make is on the courses, not on their actual trading, not on their investing. It's on their trading that they make that money. It's on their courses that they make their money. But, you know, to each his own. If people want to experiment with that, yeah, I'm a gatekeeper, man. I respect relationships. Relationships are big. I learned about business through a relationship. I learned about stocks through a relationship, and I respect those relationships. And and I think you're disrespecting the people that reveal things to you, because they're revealing them to you in confidence. Because they don't just reveal it to anybody. If they're revealing it to you, it's because they trust you. That's how I see it. So I don't want to disrespect that trust. So if somebody comes to me and shows me, I'm not just going to put their stuff. And not only that, look, there are people out here that spend thousands of dollars. Listen, I took a course that cost me $42,000, and I was teaching that stuff for free. But it cost some people thousands of dollars. But while I'm teaching it for free, it didn't dawn on me, hey, I'm messing up these people's business offering this stuff for free. I'm messing it up. It dawned on me that that's what I was doing, so I stopped. Yeah, loyalty and trust. That's correct, man. I mean, you got to respect those things. You got to respect those things. So I no longer teach for free. I don't charge, but that's only for, you know, people that I have established relationships with. That's it. You know what's crazy, bro? I'm teaching people stuff all my life for free. Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I'm gonna make my money regardless, right? That's why I was able to teach this stuff for free, because I was gonna make my money anyway. I didn't need their money. If I told you, you know, I'm not gonna share here. In private, I'll share with you, but I'm not gonna share here how much I was making trading. No way. So I didn't need anybody's money. Yeah. See what you went through? I'm telling you. Nah, man. Look, and with those people I was teaching, I didn't care. I didn't care if they went somewhere else, asked somebody else, try to confirm whether what I was teaching was accurate or true or whatever the case is. Because honestly, if most people that look at me, if they don't know me, and I start talking about stocks and options and futures and all that stuff, they don't look at. Well, matter of fact, I went through that the other day. I was on another trucker's channel, and I told him I was a former stockbroker. That dude started berating me in front of everybody. You're a trucker, ha ha ha. Hey, man, some of these look, my homeboy, he's a trucker. He's also got a law degree. So you never know, man. You never know who you're encountering in this. Yeah, they're ignorant, man. Some people are ignorant. They don't understand. They don't know anything about somebody's background, and right away they assume certain things. Because they see you driving a truck, they assume certain things. And that's not the case. Listen. So I didn't care, right? So if for some reason somebody was skeptical and said, well, no, this guy couldn't possibly, come on. That's fine. No problem. And I didn't care if they wanted to start learning from me, just to realize later on that I know a hell of a lot more than what they thought I knew, and they still want to go somewhere else. That's fine. I don't care. I'm making my money. I don't care. But like I said, I came to the realization that while I'm teaching people for free, I'm disrupting somebody else's business who's teaching, who's charging. So, oh yeah, bro, listen, let me tell you something. My wife was a supervisor at Starbucks. She was one of those people with a degree working at Starbucks. My wife has a degree. My wife is brilliant, man. She's a genius, man. She came to this country. Well, not this country. I mean, she's from this country, but I'm saying, being from Puerto Rico and all, she did everything was Spanish for her. She came to this country. She went to this private college out in Boston and got 2 bachelors in 4 years, all in English when she didn't speak English. Okay, so she busted her ass and got her degree. So she's a brilliant woman. So she was working at Starbucks as a manager, and there was a brokerage right across the street, Edward Jones, in a plaza, and yeah, from Puerto Rico. Yeah, my wife's from Puerto Rico also. So while she's in there, I'm chilling because I'm just eating off of my trades. That's it. That's how I'm generating my money off the trades. So I'm sitting there. I got my laptop open. I got my platform fully exposed, but not, I got my I'm sitting at a single table so that nobody. So this broker from across the street who comes in, I feel him like standing next to me, looking over my shoulder. And he's looking at the platform that I'm using. It's a professional platform, which anybody can get now. But at the time, because I was a broker, I had access. And he's looking at me doing a technical analysis, and he points something out, and I said, "Yeah, but look at this." And he says, "Oh yeah, but look at that." And then, "Yeah, but look at this." And we're going back and forth, and we're trading information or perception. We're trading our opinion on certain. Who do you work for? Oh, I used to work for. I'm not working for them. I'm a retailer. He goes, "Oh man," shook my hand. Completely different reaction every time he came in after that. Different world. A couple of other people saw it, different reaction. Went to a bank, opened up a business account. The manager is telling me, "Hey, why don't you open up an account with an investment account?" "No, I'm all set. I'm good." So at that particular moment, I got my laptop open. I got to execute some trades. Some expirations are coming up. I got to take care of those. I had a full load on my portfolio, and he says, "Oh, listen, really, no." I said, "Oh no, I'm okay, dude. Okay." So then he tells me, "Listen, no, we can get you 7% return." Whoa, 7%, 7% return, really? Okay. So I turned the laptop and I said, "This is what I get for a return." When he saw that, his jaw dropped, damn near bruised his chin against the table. 93% return, which is unheard of. And dude was wilding out. He was like, "Oh my God, no man, look." I still had my license at the time. I said, "Nah." But he called up Merrill Lynch and and they tried to recruit me right there on the spot. I said, "Nah, I'm good." I left that scene, man. That thing is highly stressful. I want no parts of that anymore. So I didn't renew my license. I didn't bother. And as hard as it was to get it, it was tough. It was a 6-hour exam. You got to get fingerprinted, background check, all kinds of checks, credit check. They wanted to make sure that you didn't have any bankruptcies, any foreclosures, this, that, and the third. Oh my God, it was a process. It was a serious process. Yeah, they were trying to recruit me, and I said no. And said, what do you call it? Yeah, it was rough, man. That exam was 6 hours long. You got to go to a location. They got cameras everywhere, man. They probably had a camera in the seat, looking into your ass to make sure you didn't have anything that you could pull out of your ass to answer questions and whatnot. It was insane, dude. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, they're about money. They are about money. But the type of returns that I get, yeah, it's not common. It's not common. It's not common. But it's discipline and consistency. That's it, man. Discipline and consistency. It's all these other content creators in association with stock. They razzle and dazzle you with their technical analysis. They got you going crazy. Everybody's going crazy, drawing lines all over the place. Talking about the different candlestick formations, talking about the price patterns, having people bugging out. Yeah, good, 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 man. That's gonna propel you, bro. And it's obvious because of what you do, because of what I see you doing here on YouTube. So it's obvious. So yeah, you can. Yeah, that's right. Listen, since I was 9 years old, since I was 9 years, old, but it's funny though, because since I was 9 years old, I was paying to have people kick my ass. Basically, that's what I was getting my ass kicked constantly since I was 9 years old, paying to get my ass. And I did some boxing too down in Hell's Kitchen. So it was yeah, oh yeah, yeah, man. And not only that, like I was telling the professor, at some point in time, this is how I wound up getting my black belt because I was hopping from school to school, and just one day I said, listen, I got to finish what I start. So I got to settle down, stay in one school, get my black belt, and move on. I wound up getting 4 black belts in 4 different arts, which is interesting. It's interesting. I even trained a SEAL, a Navy SEAL. I trained a Navy SEAL once. Um, and exactly that discipline right there. Yeah, your mom won't let you go forward. Nah, I understand, man. I understand. A lot of that stuff that I did, I didn't share. I didn't share that with my parents. You know, and the schools that I went to. Well, after I left my house, the schools that I attended, they were pretty rough, man. Uh, let me see. One, two, three. Out of out of maybe 7 different instructors, only 2 of them weren't war veterans. The rest were war veterans, Vietnam and Korean War veterans. Oh, one was a World War II veteran, but I didn't spend too much time with him. I I I I I, I was learning jujitsu from this guy nicknamed the Animal, and he was just like his nickname. He was an animal. He was a Vietnam War veteran, a cop, and he had me training with this other dude. And bro, I don't even. I honestly, I don't know how we never left his dojo without broken bones. There were people who had gotten their bones broken, man. There was this one dude that I broke this dude's clavicle. I slammed the hell out of him. I broke his clavicle. This dude was like 6'2". I'm 6 foot. He was 6'2". I slammed the hell out of him, broke his clavicle, man. Um, Felt bad about that too. But there was this one dude. He was left brain damaged, bro. Brain damaged. Other dudes have lost their teeth. Um, Dudes have got seriously injured. The last school I attended, they had what was called once a month. They call it Knockout Fridays, and guaranteed somebody was going to the hospital in an ambulance. Guaranteed. Every Friday, once a month, every Friday, on a Friday rather. Guaranteed going to the hospital, and you can come in any art whatsoever. I don't look 6 foot. Well, I look like I'm about 5'2", right? 2 feet of head. Yeah. Oh, and I'm 6 foot, and I'm amongst the shortest in my family. Amongst the shortest. Um, yeah, man, there were people getting damaged, badly damaged. The animal had us doing training with sticks, oh man, oh my God, the World War II veteran, that dude was off the scale, bro. That dude was off the scale. Oh wow, by an inch. But intriguing. Anyway, um, yeah. Actually, 5'11" is a good height. It's a really good height. The World War II veteran. Oh my God! Listen, if you were a brown belt or a black belt, when you did knife attacks, there were times he used to you had to use a real knife, right? A real knife, and in the middle of an attack, he would turn the lights off on everybody. In the middle of attack, you're already swinging, you're swinging with the knife, and he would shut the lights off. What? That dude was off the chain, bro. And his dojo was nothing like the kung fu movies where there was the utmost respect and everybody bowed to each other and all that. Nah. He'd be motherfucking people on the mat. It's like, yo, what kind of school is this? Yeah, he was crude, he was rude, and he was there to he taught combat. He didn't teach his judo class was for competition, but his jiu-jitsu class was strictly combat. It was for survival purposes. So the animal was like that too, and so was Negron. Negron came up. Both those guys came out of that school. Both those guys were his black belts, and I trained under the animal, and I trained under Negron. Negron was another one. Negron had a select little group, me being part of one of that group, where he would teach the whole class one thing, but he would pull us aside and say, "Look, no, don't cut here like this. Cut over here like that." Okay? And no, don't hit him here. Hit him there. And don't hit him like this. Hit him like that. Okay. So whenever the little group got together, that's how we trained. We trained specifically for combat purposes. Like when you're doing a sweep, don't sweep them like this. Don't impact this part of the foot. Impact them here. Boom. Yeah. Don't sweep his leg. Come down on it. Dislocate his knee. Tear his calf. Bust up his Achilles. All kinds of shit like that. But let's see, I had R.C. Bambachi. He was a Korean War veteran? No, he was a Vietnam War veteran. Animal was a Vietnam War veteran. Sandy he passed away Sunday. He was a Korean War veteran. He was very interesting because the stuff he was teaching us, you weren't going to find anywhere. He learned. He lived with a Chinese family for 6 years and learned their art, and he incorporated that with jiu-jitsu. So we were learning stuff in his jiu-jitsu class that you wouldn't have learned anywhere else. So that was pretty wild. But yeah, man, and like I said, I had a scare, bro. I had a scare. What was it, 2 weeks ago? I had to go get a physical, and the doctor said, no, I gotta call somebody else to do this, because I'm not gonna specify what it was, but they said, I gotta get somebody else to come and do this, because I can't believe what I'm reading right now. And I just want to make sure. So sit right there. So we went and got another doctor. The doctor came, and they just stared at me for a hot minute. And then they asked me, "Do you feel this? Do you feel that?" No, I don't feel any of that. Did you ever have this before? Did you ever? No, I don't know. Never had symptoms, never had anything. Okay, well, we got to call the ambulance. You can't just leave. And I said, well, why? No, I don't think you understand. From here to the hospital, you can pass. You can actually die from here to the emergency with what you got. I said, no. What? Nah. I convinced them, so I wound up leaving. But I guess I'll check in with the hospital again some other time. Not now. But I scaled back on certain things that I know are probably impacting me. And one of the problems is this disrupted sleep pattern. That's part of the problem. It's throwing my body way off. But I curtailed certain. Thank you, brother. I curtailed. I cut back on certain foods and stuff like that. So I gotta get back to an exercise routine. Get right. Yeah, it was that bad. But nothing. We're gonna push forward, bro. We're gonna push forward, and we're gonna follow through. We're gonna help each other. I'll help you, and you help me. Yeah. We'll help each other. Listen, man. Your portfolio is going to be lovely. Absolutely lovely. Yup. You're not going to need to take any courses, none of that stuff. And we'll be able to talk. We'll be able to dialogue about that. Privately. Because I don't want to do it in public. But we'll dialogue about the market, economics, everything you need to either calm you if you hear something crazy, or like right now, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And yeah, it's true that they're gonna be, some people are gonna hurt for a while. Their 401ks, their IRAs, they'll take a hit. They'll take a hit, but the portfolio you're gonna have, if it does go down, it ain't gonna go down by much. It'll be stable and generating. Stable and generating. Yeah. Definitely. I know a lot of people took a hit. Okay, so on my team right now, that I'm teaching right now, which I'm not teaching much, I just help them pick and choose stocks for their own portfolios. And they're not down. None of them are down. The market's been down for like the past week, 2 weeks. They're not down. So AJ, CJ, JB, and now GR. I got them all hooked up with initials. Oh no, you're getting back on your feet, bro. You're getting back on your feet. I'm gonna encourage you to on how to do it. I'm gonna encourage you. Well, the easy part for me is that once we develop that new portfolio, I'm done. I'm not gonna have to residual income. That's all I'm gonna say. Residual income. That's it. And going about it in the most responsible way. That's key right there. Responsible. No shenanigans, no forget about. You stayed all the way to the end. I showed this one stock. that you could take a chance on. Yeah. Yes. Residual income. Yeah. Oh no, no, you guys got me, man. You guys got me. Yeah, that I appreciate that. That you're a gatekeeper. I appreciate that very much, very much. Because, like I said, I'm not interested in teaching somebody who's gonna disrespect me and stuff like that. I mean, you felt it. You felt it. What, today? Today you had to respond to somebody, let them know, hey, what you did was uncalled for. I imagine from that moment on that person did that to you. You've got no interest in sharing time, your precious time, with that person, and you've got no interest. Well, that's how I am. I usually don't have any interest in enhancing somebody else's life if they're going to conduct themselves a certain way. When people are condescending, looking down on you, talking down to you, I get into this kiss my ass mode and create distance. Create distance. I don't want the negativity. I don't want that. I want nothing to do with that. I made it this far in life, and I have to thank everybody who tolerated my bullshit. And I laid out a lot of bullshit, and I'm grateful for everybody who tolerated me as long as they could tolerate me, because at some point they had to let me go go there and create distance from me as well. But I thank God that I took from all those people just enough to learn and grow and become different. One friend, another one that passed away not too long ago, but we hadn't seen each other for like 25 years. And when we bumped into each other again, he had a sit down with my oldest son, and the conversation was all about how he didn't recognize me as a person because I'm so different from what I was in my youth. Because he's known me since I was about, 14 years old. Yeah, that's like loss number 3, man. It's bonkers. Yeah, loss number 3. No, loss number 4. If I include my sister, that's loss number 4. Yeah. And in a short period of time. Yeah. So, yeah, he couldn't believe. He really could not believe it. Completely different. No, he said that the rest of the team, the rest of the crew, his brother, my friend Roy, none of them would believe. If he told them how I was like now, none of them would believe him. None of them. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Crazy losses. Crazy loss. And I was almost there too. I was almost gone. But whatever. I'm not leaving till I teach you. So we're good. I'm gonna teach you and your lady. And you guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. It's an interesting world. It's a very big world, and all you need is you only need a little corner of that world, a little corner, and you'll be all right. But there's so much that goes on. You'll be fascinated. I mean, it's hard not to want to be able to absorb all that it has to offer and stick your chest out. and be proud. Now, what you do with your pride, that's a separate story. I mean, you can put people in their place, you can humiliate them, or you can just demonstrate that you're not some fool. Because there's a great deal of respect for people who know how to manage money. A great deal of respect. People who have degrees respect people who know how to manage money. I was opening up accounts and managing accounts for doctors, lawyers, engineers, professors. And here's one comment that I made to another trucker that couldn't understand. And he thought it was ridiculous. All these people, all these professionals that I mentioned, they're all 2 paychecks away from being homeless. All of them. Because they don't manage their money. They don't. They have big egos, and they allow their egos to get the best of them. It's not that they can't learn this stuff. It's just that they're distracted. Yeah, they're distracted. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised if you go to places like Skid Row out in California, or even in New York City, that's loaded. New York City is loaded with homeless people. You'd be surprised how many of those people are PhDs, have masters, bachelors. You'd be surprised. And they're homeless. Some have mental health issues, and the ones that don't, well, I don't know what to tell you. But they're out there. I was homeless. I was homeless twice in my life. The first time I was homeless, I was in my late teens. And I just wanted to separate from humanity. And I was sleeping in Central Park with the rats, sleeping in Riverside Park with the rats. There were rats everywhere, damn it. I had some friends that were kind enough to let me into their apartments and shower, sometimes stay for a night or two. But for the most part, I was out in the street. And I was good with that. The only bad part about that is the loneliness. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot in common, bro. So you were homeless too, yeah. So you know. And this was in the city, bro, so you know. Trying to stay warm, trying to find an abandoned building or something, which is dangerous as all hell. Even sleeping in the parks was dangerous, because on occasion you'll get some knuckleheads that have bad intentions and try to set you on fire or something stupid like that. But the worst part about it was the loneliness. Nobody wanted to get near you. You stunk. I stunk. So, and I look ragged. So, nobody wants to. I'd make some money by doing odd and end jobs, paint the fence or something, paint a room, take out some garbage, something, make a few bucks, and I can eat instead of digging in the garbage. I would take newspapers and stuff them inside my clothes to keep me warm. All the fun stuff. Go by a vent. Kind of dangerous, because if a car gets, there wasn't that many distractions back then. People weren't driving with their phones in their hands back then. There were no cell phones back then. We're talking about 1982, around there. No, it wasn't 1982. It was like 1985. I had already graduated high school. Yeah, it was critical. It was crucial. It was crucial. Wasn't for that long. It was long enough, like 6 months. Yeah. And the second time I was homeless, that was about 5 months. At that point, at least I had a car. I was living out of my car. So, the bird baths and stuff like that. The occasional friend that would let me shower. Stuff like that. Yeah, those were good times. Taught me a lot. Taught me a lot. I'm appreciative of that. Yeah, now that I think about it, I came across a lot of spectacular people, man. A lot of spectacular people. Most of them I never got to thank. Most of them I never got to thank. But I keep them in my mind, and I keep them in my prayers. But I'm starting to feel it now. So it's about that time. But we gotta hit each other up, man. I'm gonna set you up. Yeah, it's about that time. I'm starting to lose energy. But yeah, vegan, we'll keep in contact, man. We'll keep in contact, and I'll break it down, bro. Break it down. Oh wow, yeah, she's still wow. Still oh man, the crazy shit I say. Okay. Um oh okay. Okay. Marathons. Got it. Um yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank your wife for coming on. And everybody else. Okay, my queen, thank you for coming on. And everybody else whose name I saw for the first time. Thank you. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Vegan, I want to see you very soon. Tomorrow, hopefully. And stay fresh. Keep it moist and profitable. Peace, everybody.